Poetry index. The slip of an earring. It doesn't want to stay. Behind the scenes of freedom. I mean, is it pointless doing? I mean, what do I think? I'm at nursery school? Can you see? Are you sitting comfortably? I just want to just read through really quickly what I've written here. I mean, this poem, scene 1. I decided to go through the book, and because I could not page number, I just did not know how to work out the pages on Word or OpenOffice. So but I also wanted to create something different. So I thought, I was looking for my earrings. If you can see a glow in my glasses, I have got lighting up, and I am not a professional filmmaker, so I don't really know. I think I'll sit at this angle, so you know, the glow doesn't seem. But really, I want to read you. I decided to do all these poems for my first book, and it's a very thin book. It's a very short book. I'm just going to go through the process rather than do. I'm not going to do audiobook, or I mean, it's not. Why is it going to be an audiobook if a vlog is if you're videoing yourself? Vin, come on. Vin is my nickname. My name is Lavinia DR, but Vin is my nickname, and that's the middle part of Lavinia. Right. So where next are you going to see me? This is scene 1. Where next are you going to see me? I walked past you once. I walked past you twice. You thought I was gay, but I am mostly straight. I flay as I play. I love the attention of my wicked mind games in my own camp way. Oh, I love the attention of my wicked mind games in my own camp way. I have made my own fame off the back of these games. All of the things I can do, I prefer to throw mind games at you. I feel I have to do this to feel more powerful than you. So, I've got to follow through. I'm just going to put this out there. I always have this thing about whether I should do what I'm doing, or let me take these glasses off to see the glare. Whether I should show myself. Headshot, yeah, because I'm just doing this on the laptop. If you can't tell, I just don't have a professional camera enough to do it. But yeah. The reason I wrote that really came from 2006 when I moved house. I moved from one sprawling council estate in South London to another. I moved down near the river, if you know it, near the, yes. And I just love it. I used to go out and sit on the South Bank when I come home from work. I thought it was great, but just, it's like that horror movie, you know, when people move in a movie, and everything's going fine, and all of a sudden it goes doo, 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 and then all the freaky stuff start happening. I literally lived that. It weren't funny. Let me tell you, I can tell you in any accent you like, love it. We're not funny. It was harrowing. Oh, I could see my disc. This is the Serenity Prayer. I have around my neck, Serenity Prayer. So that poem depicts the style of stalking. I mean, this was a ramp up than what I'd seen before. It was cold, paranoid, you know, investigative. I don't know, I can't say the word, or very much like surveillance. So I don't know if somebody accused me of something. So I wrote to the police because I thought, well, boy, you know, I mean, my life ain't been perfect, but it ain't really that out there. I mean, because of what I came from, my, you know, the early abuse, sexual abuse, and what continued all the way through school, and it just attracted all of that kind of seedy kind of life to me, and I became aware of it, and I had enough about me to want to move on. I didn't want that kind of life. I felt I was very open to being in love with someone wholesome and healthy, and moving on and being married, even from a really I mean, it was sick to say it, but even from a really early age as a young girl, when you have been you become over sexualized because of what you've been through. But I really, after I'd grown up out of the need of needing to be held and looked after because I was sick, you know, things move out your life, and I still say it to this day, I identify with really feeling I wanted to be loved by a man, even as a young girl. Really felt I had feelings that I could be a wife, you know, that I could have been married. And because at the end of the day, I had all these feelings to deal with and urges and whatever. And, you know, it led to some very precarious situations, I might say. But when things started, the pattern, it was really I call it, I knew it was either a woman who was very wealthy, because I didn't know the exact identity of the person, but I knew I was being targeted. You know what I mean? Somebody was making it very obvious, and I thought, well, this is somebody very powerful and incredibly wealthy who could really play out some big old act, because I was damn Paul. I wasn't that poor. I mean, I had a good job, but I mean, by the end of it, I was just poor and sick, honey, child. With any accent I could tell you, any accent you like, honey. It was just awful. But they used to do some really funky stuff, and I termed it morbid jealousy. That's how I termed it. I felt it was a very feminine power. Someone who was incredibly insecure, evidently, because I don't know how you can have that much money and need to go and stalk out somebody. Me, at that level of money, you would go and phone up some African country and end world debt if you had that much money. You know what I mean? Do something good in the world with it. Why are you going to take off and stalk some dry old roughneck like me? What the hell is the matter with you? You know, I don't mean to offend anybody by saying that. I really don't. But you get my drift. You know what I mean? It was just like, that's half the problem. I'm going through something, I think you're holding on to it, Vin. You're holding on to it. Get up and do something. Get up and do the thing. But will anything connect? What the other psychological crushes? And I'm deliberately just letting this flow out. Let it be as psychotic and crap as it sounds. I found a pattern of literally, I mean, these people seem to know exactly where I would go, what is really hurtful, and what the challenge I'm trying to get over today. I'm just trying to put my foot up to get a bit of rest because I'm sitting on a swivel chair. Was having people, knowing full well people live, literally seeing people go into where you go, and then people be looking at this like literally it's like they were going to stare at her. She's done this. I don't know if they were calling me a paedophile or saying that I had stolen something, or I couldn't figure out what I was being accused of. But and I say that because about paedophilia or some sex something had been made up, because that is among the most sort of leprosy type of things. So I was thinking, what the vast is this? So I went to police and said, look, I realised there was some kind of punishment going on without use of the law. My life ain't perfect, you know what I mean? But I had pretty much moved on, refused to have anything to do with the type of men that I had felt I'd been sucked into. But, you know, I'm not saying that, I was dragged into that. I was at a state of energy in life where I had attracted that, and that is what it is. And I got up and moved on from that. So what were they coming with? So I thought, well, let me put myself forward as a witness, because you want to talk to me, investigate me. You don't have no problem. I've had a website for ages with the contact there. Contact me. Or I thought, if I at least put myself forward, if there's a problem there or inside they want to talk to me about something, at least I'm there. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. You're gonna see it straight through my face. You know what I mean? So as far as I remember, my memory's still good. So I decided to list down everything. I thought, well, who is it? What is it I could have done? Write to people and say, well, look, this is what happened when I was here, blah blah blah. You know, this is who I am and where I am, and even now here. You know, so there was an incident. I don't want to go too much into it. I suppose you can read what you want from it, but there was a couple of people I came across, and it kind of lends it that self, and it's this is really based in social housing, so it's really based upon the kind of characters I met when I moved, and the kind of way they went on. But these are people a lot younger than me. I'm an older woman. I don't really have time to really take these, other than to have as much patience as I can, because I'm a mum, I'm a grand person in that sense. So I have to have patience, and some, I think as you get older, to a certain degree, you have to have some kind of understanding. It's not to allow people to young people to be destructive and abusive. You try not to do that where you can, but sometimes it's not as easy when you come from a home, and it may seem, I can really understand that seems awful. You could seem, I'm going to stop that.